Siéntense, estimados caballeros, y hoy día vamos a dar inicio a la última Oscar. Oscar, ¿nos escuchas? Si quieres prender tu micrófono para escucharte.
Sí, ahora sí los escucho.
¿Sí nos escuchas?
Sí.
Perfecto.
Ok, ustedes nos dicen.
Sí, ya cuando gusten empezar, aquí estamos.
Okay, perfecto. Dowdy, you wanna start? We're ready to go.
Yes, I'll start. Hello, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Dowdy Torres. Soy subdirector de misiones aquí en Merrimack. Me quise introducir en español para que sepa que hablo español, pero voy a hacer la presentación totalmente en inglés y cualquier pregunta que tengan, por favor, déjenos de saber. So, para comenzar, denme un minuto para ponerme en sitio aquí. Okay. ¿Pueden ver mi pantalla acerca de Merrimack? Oh. Hello, everybody.
I can.
You can? Okay. I don't know if they could.
¿Me pudieran confirmar si pueden ver la pantalla, por favor, para comenzar la presentación?
Yes?
Yeah, that sounded like a yes.
Perfect. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Merrimack and Merrimack College, and this is an opportunity for all students to kind of figure out what we have to offer here at Merrimack, and this is an opportunity for all of you to ask questions and kind of make sure that you're asking all the questions, and I'm here to answer them as much as I can. So welcome to Merrimack. And to kind of get the process starting and just talking about what we have to offer at Merrimack. Greatness begins here. You know, one of the biggest things with Merrimack is that we have wonderful, great career outcomes, bigger scholarships. As I know, with a lot of our international students, scholarship opportunities are a very big factor in helping them decide where they want to go, providing even stronger majors. Over the last couple of years, we've added a plethora of new majors. So, for example, this past year, we added neuroscience. We've also added economics, music. So every single year, we keep on adding more programs to kind of align with what we do here and what we do best at Merrimack, providing a broader support. We understand that going from high school to college is a big transition. So for us, what's very important is to kind of help our students figure out exactly what are the things that they need to become successful. You know, you're going to have students that are, academically strong, but you're also going to have students that will need the extra support. So any student can be successful at Merrimack. And with us, we're going to support you in any way, shape, or form wherever you come in. So we always provide, that bold transformation to helping you kind of understand how we can make Merrimack your next home for the next 4 years. Also with us, we've gone away from, being this small New England town institution to becoming a global powerhouse. As you can see here in the slide, you kind of get a sense of ranking wise how well we've done over the last couple of years, and every single year we keep on going up, and that is just a test to what we've done at Merrimack to making sure that we're helping our students as much as we can during that process. So to kind of help you all understand a little bit about Merrimack, I think it's important to talk about numbers, because Merrimack, to give you kind of an idea of the type of institution that we are. So our undergraduate population is about 4,000. We have, with our graduate students, we're hovering a little above 1,500, so about 5,400. And our students come from over 30 states and about 40 different countries. So I predominantly work with some of our local students, but I do work with our students that come from the Middle East, as well as all from Africa. And again, that kind of shows you that you can have a student that comes from down the street or a student that comes from the other side of the globe, which again makes Merrimack very unique in that sense. Right now, we have over 100 different academic programs to choose from. So there's a variety of options depending on what you ultimately want to study. I'll talk a little bit more about our specific academic programs later, but with us, you get the best of both worlds, because we're big enough that there's a lot to do, but we're small enough that you're going to get more of that personalized attention as well. One of the biggest things with us is because since we're only about 25 miles from Boston, you have access to the city. So you kind of get that small New England town feel school, but at the same time, if you need to go to Boston, the train station is about a mile or so away from campus. So you actually have access into the city. With us, we're also a very residential campus. So about 73% of our students do live on campus. So we're again very, very residential. Our student population comes from all over the globe, like I mentioned. But one of the biggest things is diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's one of the biggest things that Merrimack has seen. And one of the things that I always say is that we've done a lot, but there's so much more that we can do. Right now, we're about 25%, have 21% diversity on our campus, which is great, seeing how those numbers are growing over the last couple of years. And then since we have a very diverse student population, that kind of goes in hand with the type of clubs and organizations that we have. Where right now we have about 90 clubs and organizations on campus. So there's always something for you to do. And then in regards to sports, we are Division I. I won't talk too much about it because I know Oscar is on the call and he does such an amazing job with explaining what he does and what he had done being a student athlete. And I'm pretty sure you'll want to hear more from his experience than what I will have to say in regards to sports. So I'll let Oscar talk a little bit about that later on. And then in regards to our student to faculty ratio, we're 16-1, and the average classroom size is 22. Again, going back to providing students that all the resources that they want at a bigger institution have, but kind of having more of that small classroom setting that our students really, really enjoy. So as you can see here, this kind of gives you a sense of all of our academic programs. We do have over 100 different majors to choose from. So there's a variety of options depending on what is it that you ultimately want to study. If you have an idea of what you want to study, great. But if you don't, that's completely fine. As you can see there, we have our Discover program that helps students kind of figure out exactly what is it that they ultimately want to do. However, if you don't have an idea, that's completely fine. I always say it's kind of hard as a senior, as you're about to graduate high school, when you're about to graduate high school, that you're going to know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. So with us, it's very important to have a curriculum in place that's going to allow you the flexibility to kind of see all the different options that we have. And as you can see there, business is our most popular major, school, I mean. So about 31% of our student body are involved in the Giral School of Business. But then you have, for example, the School of Health Science is very popular. Again, all of our schools, all of our programs are relatively strong. Obviously, some of them are more popular than others. And again, it all depends on the students and what they ultimately want to do. And then, as we talked about the undergraduate, we also do have graduate programs as well, too. And with some of our graduate programs, the advantages of being a Merrimack student is that there's a tuition reduction of the program. You get to start early. So a lot of our students have the opportunity to start working on their graduate work during their senior year. So I always like to say, kind of taking advantage of those opportunities. There's an accelerated application process, which will help our students through that process. There's also a lot of financial aid and assistantships and fellowships that will help cover the cost of the program. So some cost is very big in regards to that in regards to that. So we try to help students as much as we can, and also the flexibility. So if you want to do it on campus, online, in any way, shape, or form. And then in regards to providing students the support, we do have an amazing support system in place here. So what do we do to support students? We have the Academic Success Center, we have tutoring, we have Math Center, we also have the Writing Center. One thing is that what we try to do is during your first year, because we understand it's a big transition from high school to college, we have a first year experience class. And in that class, they'll talk about learning strategies. They'll talk about time management. So kind of helping you figure out the resources that are available here on campus, and to help you figure out what's the best way that you could learn so that you're able to become successful here at Merrimack. So we understand in order for you to be successful, we need to provide you as much support as we can. And that goes very hand in hand with having career outcomes. So we actually did research with our students that graduated 10 years ago, and our alumni are ranked, we're ranked in the top 4%, which is kind of great to kind of see how well our alumni are doing financially for themselves once they graduate. And it just shows you how well we've done over the last 10 years to make sure that we're providing students all the tools that they need. Because yes, it's important that you're in the classroom, that you're learning all the material, that you're learning everything they need to do. But with us, what makes Merrimack very unique is that we try to put things hand to hand that will help you more understand what you could do outside the classroom to help complement what you're learning in the classroom very well. That's why 87% of our students will participate in some form of internship or co-op. And that's why last year's class, 96% of them are actually in the field of their choice, working, within 9 months of them graduating. So we do a relatively good job. We're making sure that we're helping you as much as we can. And then as you can see here, this kind of gives you a list of some of the places that our students are currently working for, as well as getting internships, just to kind of give you a sense. Again, every year is completely different where our students go to work and where they do internships or co-op. It all varies on your personal interests, and your career advisors here. Your advisors here will help you figure those things out. So let's say if you want to come in and you want to become, if you want to do mechanical engineering, there's those type of options. I had a student that really wanted to come in and do biology, but really want to focus on marine biology, and ended up doing a semester pre-COVID down in Australia doing research in the Great Barrier Reefs. So again, it all varies on what you ultimately want to do. So with us, we want to focus on making sure that we have giving you the unique experience that you're looking for within your education. That's why with us, we do have a lot of career support as well too. We think that having the academic support is important, but also having the career aspect is also very important as well too. That's why we're moving forward. We are doing guaranteeing internships. We have one-on-one advising, networking events, professional development retreats, kind of giving you all those tools that you need. And the reason that we start working with students early on in the process is because we want to make sure that we're giving you all the tools that you need, so that we're not bombarding you with all this information by the time your junior year rolls around. That your first year is more about exploring, kind of seeing, meeting your advisors, kind of getting an idea, this is what I want to do. Then second year, discovering more what you ultimately want to do, discovering what faculty are talking about, doing more information sessions and figuring out exactly what it is that we want to do. Because on your third year, when you're doing an internship and you're doing a co-op, then you know exactly what you're doing to make sure that those are things that you want to do. And the reason that we have students do internships, again, is to kind of help make sure that that's something that they ultimately want to do. And we try to focus on making sure that you're getting real life experience under your belt in regards to internships. And then, again, being Division I has been great for us. However, if you do not want to play at the D1 level, we do have club sports and intramural sports that you can be a part of. Oscar will do a much better job in talking about his experience in regards to sports. So I'll let him talk a little bit more about that later on after I'm done speaking in regards to other things. And then in regards to clubs and activities, as you can see here on the screen, this is just some of the many activities that are happening on campus. So again, there's a variation of things to do depending on what you ultimately are looking to be involved in. We have Greek life. We also have special interest groups, academic groups, cultural groups. So again, if there's something that you want and we don't have, it's very, very simple for you to start on campus. So again, those are just some of the things to keep in mind as you're kind of going through the whole college process, that you kind of understand what are the things that we have here at Merrimack. And then in regards to living on campus, we do guaranteed housing for all 4 years. So if you decide that you want to live on campus, that's definitely an option for all of our students. Our students, we have 9 different type of residence halls on campus, and there's also a free laundry facilities as well. For students that want to commute, we do have housing off campus as well too. So there's a commuter lounge and then there's guaranteed campus parking. So again, going back to being a campus that over 70% of our students who live on campus, we are more of that residential campus community here at Merrimack. And then with us, in regards to affordability, we try to make it as affordable as possible for all of our students. That's why 99% of our students do receive some form of grant or scholarship from us. And that was equivalent to about $85 million last year. So again, with us as international students, you do qualify for our merit scholarships. And our merit scholarships are going to be based on how well you do academically in school. So the better that you do in school, the more type of aid you're going to get. So I always encourage students, keep on doing the best that you can, because that's going to have a direct correlation on the type of aid that you will qualify here at Merrimack. And then in regards to our application process, at Merrimack, the application, it's a very simple process. So with us, excuse me, as you can see on our screen, we do have a couple of deadlines. So we have early decision, early action, and then rolling. So the difference between early decision and early action means that it's binding. Early decision is binding, which means that you apply to any college in the U.S. or university. That means that if you apply early decision, is that's your number one school and that's where you want to go, and you are if you are accepted, you're withdrawing any other application from any other school. Early action just means that you want to find out early. Again, it's no commitment. It's just giving you the opportunity to apply early action. So I always say if you apply by our November 15th deadline, you should hear back from us by the winter break. However, if you don't hear back, I always say no news is a good news, because it means that we might require additional grades, we might require an interview or something along those lines to get to know you, the student, a little bit better. So with us, we require the Common App or our own application. Either or is completely fine. We don't prefer one over the other. Secondary school report, high school transcript, and then letters of recommendation. If you are interested in applying for a nursing degree, we will require 2 letters of recommendation, and one of them we will prefer if it's like from a science or math teacher. But again, those are preferred. If you can't get that, your admission counselor will be able to help you with that. With us, the big thing this past couple of years is that we don't have an application fee. So our application is completely free, so it doesn't cost students anything to apply. And then we also don't require any test scores. So we don't require any test scores. With us, for our international student population, we will require some form of English proficiency. And in order for us to require English proficiency, it'll be case-by-case basis. We'll require TOEFL scores, Duolingo, or something of that form. But again, it's all going to be case-by-case basis. So with us, we have a very holistic approach on how we review the application. So we'll look at the academic strength, the curriculum strength of your institution, of where you go to school, your academic achievements, what type of classes you've taken at your school. At Merrimack, we become, I would say, mini experts in the schools that we review applications from. So we understand the curriculum of your school very well. So we'll look at all those things. We'll look at your community involvement and extracurricular activities. So we'll look at all those things when we're ultimately making a decision. So we won't always say we don't look at one specific thing. We look at the whole picture when we're looking at the application. Then there, you will actually see our average academic GPA-wise where our students roll. So as you can see, we have students that are at the 4.0 range, but we also have students around the 3.0 area. And with us, that's why I was mentioning earlier that any student could be successful here at Merrimack. At the end of the day, it's how strong we feel your application is at the end of it. So we look at all those things when we're looking at the application. So if you do have any questions, you can kind of go on there. You can see, you could give us a call, send us an email. I will put in my contact information in the chat. So if you have any questions, you could definitely let us know. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my colleague, Oscar.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was great, Dari. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Oscar Cepeda. I am from Guadalajara, Jalisco. So I am from where you are. And at Merrimack, I graduated on 2017. then became assistant coach of the Merrimack soccer team, then became a faculty member in the Girard School of Business, and ultimately here we are, promoting the school. So as a student, I was a student athlete. I went to Merrimack with a soccer scholarship. I was playing professional soccer in Mexico, then decided to take my talents to get to a scholarship. And there's a couple of things that I want to share with you about Merrimack. For me, being in a small school, it was great. And sometimes bigger schools, you are a number. In Merrimack, you're a person. Everybody is looking for you. The international office is always catering to see what are your needs. And just as Dari mentioned, it is a place where you can create. No school is perfect. Every school is going to have something that you will want to change, or at least I will encourage you wherever you go to see what you can change if you want to change. For me, I arrived, what is this, 5 years ago? And no, 8 years ago. I arrived 8 years ago, and I was one of the first Latinos to arrive to the school. So I didn't find a place where I wanted to, have tacos, dance, whatever I needed. So Merrimack gave me the opportunity to create the first Latino Student Association. And with that, they gave us budget. They gave us a chance to showcase our culture. So that is one place that you can do that. As a student athlete, well, you're going to play against one of the best teams in the country and universities, very high level. Last season, the soccer team played Duke. This season, the basketball team played Gonzaga, which are very big universities, D1 schools in NCAA tournaments, etc. So we have that. And two more things. The first one is the business department. Business department and the overall academics department, it really is a place where it is very hard for you to fail. If you really want to fail, then this is not the place where you want to be. They have resources for literally everything. Every professor has student hours. Everything that you want in terms of finances. There's a mochila for investment purposes. There is a club for financial club. There's a club for marketing. There's a club for business department. If you're interested in the business, there is an investment competition. There is a business idea competition for those of you that are entrepreneurs. So there is a big, broad range of programs, and not only in the business department, but also in the arts, science, etc. So if you're a person that likes to create or likes to be in areas where you have support systems, this is one of them. As an international student, you'll have the international office, you have support with the language or any other area that you will want to acquire. And lastly, with the job, right? Well, you obviously want to have an education, but you always want to have the opportunity to have a job in the United States. And one of the questions as an international is, well, am I allowed to stay? How much can I work? How does that work? So as an international student, you're able to work 20 hours per week. Merrimack offers different types of jobs on campus that you can do very easily. I mean, I was getting paid $15 an hour for being ball man or moving nets or stuff like that. You can be a student worker in any place in Merrimack. So that is something that gives you the benefit, as well as internships. Merrimack is in very near of Boston, and remember, Boston and Massachusetts is a financial, very strong place. You have the biggest universities here, you have the biggest minds here, and you have a bunch of headquarters here. So if you're looking for a place where you can have a lot of resources financially, Boston might be a place that you want to look at. All right, well, right now, I want to open up the mic to see if you have any questions for me or for Dari about anything. Experience, me entering as a Mexican, soccer team, soccer scholarships. Any questions?
So no questions.
No questions. All right. So how can they get the information to get the admissions dowry? Oh, I think he left. Ok, chavos, bueno, pues la cuestión aquí era para enseñarles un poquito lo que es Merrimack. Para mí fue una escuela que me ayudó mucho a crecer, a conocerme a mí. Yo vine con la idea de ser una persona que estudiara negocios internacionales, pero aquí en Merrimack tienes la oportunidad de también estudiar otra carrera. Yo salí con la carrera de mercadotecnia, de negocios internacionales y una especialidad en economía. Entonces, en Estados Unidos puedes estudiar varias cosas. Como estudiante, atleta, tienes la oportunidad de crecer en diferentes áreas y como lo mencioné, tienes la oportunidad de crear diferentes clubes o diferentes competencias.
Pregunta si es más para deportistas la escuela.
¿La escuela es para más deportistas? ¿Me preguntan?
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta, por favor?
O sea, que si se enfoca en deportistas y atletas.
Que si se enfoca más en deportistas y atletas.
No, para nada, para nada. Yo, mi ejemplo es como deportista, pero I don't know, Dowry, what is the percentage between student athletes and regular students? Do you know?
Oh, sorry. What was the question again?
What is the percentage between the student athletes versus the not athlete?
So I would say every year varies from year to year on how many student athletes we get, but I would say about 20%.
Yeah, so 20% are athletes, 80% are not athletes. So obviously this is not a school that focuses on athletes. I wouldn't say any school will do that. I just talk based on my experience, right? But you can get scholarships for merit, you can get scholarships for grades, you can get scholarships for leadership. If you're involved outside of your classroom, if you are a volunteer, if you like art, anything that will make Merrimack think or anyone think that you're a special person, that will get you some places and that will get you in Merrimack to, get a scholarship. Not necessarily be an athlete.
Yep, and the big thing about just talking about scholarship in general is that colleges will look at the overall picture. They just won't look at one specific thing. They'll look at like the involvement, things that students have done. Yes, the academic piece is important, but also whatever you do after school. And certain situations, we understand that COVID happened and maybe students wanted to be involved and couldn't be involved, and we get that. And admission offices across the U.S. will understand that as well.
Correct. Any other questions? Scholarship process, any school that you're interested in?
And again, I've also, just to kind of reiterate what Oscar was saying, I've been in admissions now for about 12 years, and I've worked both at public and private institutions. And I kind of get a sense of, I have an understanding of any type of institution in the U.S. So even if it's a question that pertains to any studying in the U.S., I'm also able to answer those questions as well too. So again, this is a space for you to learn more about, not just about Merrimack, but what it is to study in the United States as well too.
100%. Are any of you in the classroom looking to study abroad, or you want to stay in Mexico? We can't see you, so I'm not sure what was the answer.
Now, could you listen? Can you listen to us?
Yes.
Yes, now I can see. We
Yes.
can see you. We can listen to you. Yes.
We want to ask what type of majors can we find there at Merrimack, please?
Yes. So at Merrimack, we have over 100 different majors to choose from. So business, as Oscar was saying, is one of our most popular programs on campus. So about 31% of our students are involved in business. Then I would say you have the sciences and engineering are relatively strong with us. Health science is very strong with us. Again, with us, having so many different programs allows students to focus in particular on what they want to do.
Any other questions? So who raise the hand?
Which type of majors are you focused on? What's your specialty?
Who is trying to go to the US from the classroom?
Excuse me, what?
Who in the classroom is trying to go to the US? No, everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
So any questions about studying in the U.S.? Again, it doesn't have to be particular about Merrimack, but just about studying in the U.S. overall.
Okay.
Seems that they're muted.
If you don't have any questions, you're muted.
So no more questions. Thank you
Sounds
very much for your time.
Well, thank you all so much for everything, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very
Gracias.
much. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Adiós.